Hello everyone, my name is Ezra Stetzel and I'm the host of Clover Connect. Today we have Mr.
Andy Holt, Commissioner of Agriculture here in the state of Tennessee.
Alrighty, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I am the current Commissioner of Agriculture, 39th Commissioner that the state of Tennessee's had, and I'm appointed by Governor Bill Lee. And so we're here at 4-H Congress, and I had the privilege of speaking tonight, and also my boss, Governor Lee, was here as well. And what makes that probably a little bit more unique than just having the random governor and commissioner of agriculture come through is that both of us were actually 4-Hers. We both participated in Congress, and we both certainly benefited from our participation. I hope that you and others who are here tonight can say the same.
Yes, sir. So since you're more centered around ag, what is something that really speaks out to you? Like, what can 4-Hers do to help ag?
So I think probably the best thing that 4-Hers can do is just to prepare themselves for future leadership opportunities. And that's not specific to agriculture. That's just specific to the fact that folks like me who are kind of old at one point are going to go home and either retire or pass away. And these positions are going to remain. And much like what the governor said this evening is, across the room and across your peers in 4-H and FFA and other youth organizations, you are the next generation of leaders here in the state of Tennessee. And so if a student finds that agriculture is a really, really important topic for them, then they need to find ways to be a leader in that particular industry. Now, some of these students may not have very much interest in agriculture. It may be other things, and leadership applies to every industry, not just agriculture. So preparing yourself for positions for the future, I think, is very, very important.
Alrighty, awesome. So what was your project area when you were in 4-H?
So over time, it changed, it transitioned. So much like several other folks that I've met this evening, I started with 4-H public speaking, that transitioned to chick chain program. Then we also went on to show sheep and continued to do parliamentary procedure, hippology, poultry judging, livestock judging. So 4-H gave me the opportunity to do a lot of different things, but probably the thing I'm most proud of is that I won the biscuit baking contest. In whatever year that is. It was early on in my 4-H career, but that literally gave me a real big kind of boon of hey, I can do this. It was kind of fun.
That's pretty big. I don't even know if they still have it. If they do, I need to do it.
Oh, they absolutely. If they don't still have it, shame on 4-H. They should still have that.
Yes. I kind of had the same thing. I started out with public speaking and veterinary science, but I showed tractors myself. So I started out in engineering and safety science and started doing portfolios and realized there's nothing I can really do with that.
Yeah.
And so I switched to veterinary science and I got me a show heifer. And I love her to pieces. And I had her for a year and then she got a disease and passed away.
Aye.
And so I've made it my goal to share that and share our story together. And then I started showing sheep here and there. And I guess my main thing is just public speaking, and with doing Clover Connect as well. I just love connecting with people and talking to everybody like that.
Oh, that's good. What kind of heifer did you show? What breed?
She was a black Angus limousine.
Okay, good deal. What's your favorite kind of antique tractor?
So we run 1939 Ford 9Ns.
Okay.
And so we use them on our farm and everything, and they are antiques, but they're awesome. And I learned how to bush hog and scrape and do everything with my daddy, and so yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, we have a 1947 John Deere MT. And so that has been a really, really good piece for us. We have an agritourism operation in Northwest Tennessee. And so every year people want to have their picture taken with what they call the old John Deere.
Yes.
And so we bring that out, and it just really lights people up. So I love antique tractors as well.
Yes, we show at Warren County's fair, Warren County A&L fair, and that's a pretty big one. We have a bunch of youth from FFA and 4-H both come and do that, and then we do it also for FFA. I'm homeschooled, so I can't do FFA, but I also like to participate in that kind of stuff.
That's good. My kids all 7 of them are actually homeschooled as well, and we struggle with the same thing. 4-H is an option, but at the moment, FFA is not an option for them.
Yeah, I get that. So with the way that the world's going right now, what is something that could help family farms stay, family farms? Because my dream is to own a family farm one day, and it's kind of hard with the way life's going right now.
So I think the best way, really, to preserve family farms in Tennessee is to plan. So it may sound overly simplified, but really, farms are in most jeopardy when they're transitioning from one, generation of ownership to the next. And so, in my opinion, making sure that producers have a plan and that they're also open to, the opportunity for setting up the next generation of producers into a situation where, hey, if they don't have children or grandchildren that want to come back to that operation, is to, be out there looking, who does want to farm, who does want to keep this, operation in play. And so I think communication and future planning, prior planning always prevents poor performance. And so I think that's something that we should be focused on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I didn't realize really how many people were into ag until I came here, and I went to academic conference last year. I went for beef, and so it was really fun to learn about that. And I didn't really know that all these people liked ag that much. Like, I knew I did, but I didn't really know them.
Well, when we talk about agriculture here in the state of Tennessee, if we combine agriculture and forestry, it's the largest economic contributor to our economy here in the state of Tennessee. And so ag and forestry accounted in 2025 for 103.8 billion, B with a boy, like boy, $103.8 billion. And so that's the largest industry sector in the state of Tennessee. And the next largest industry in the state is actually tourism. That's kind of a surprise to a lot of people. And that is $32 billion.
Wow.
So if we give the next largest industry a threefold increase, it still doesn't match how large the industry of agriculture and forest products is here in the state of Tennessee. And so I think that's important for us to realize, and like you discovering, like, wow, there's a lot of people that really like agriculture or are involved in agriculture. And even though they may not be involved directly in agriculture, they may not be the producer out there growing corn or raising cattle, but think about how many jobs cascade down from that producer. So people who are in the transportation and logistics business, people in the marketing business, finance, insurance, further processing. There's a lot of different things in the state of Tennessee that touch food and fiber, and that's why it's the largest industry in our state.
Yeah, and like I love coming here to big 4-H events and learning all different new opportunities that I could do, and it really helped me figure out what I want to do when I get older in my career plan and everything. I want to do AI on cattle and be like a breeding manager and everything like that. I love just breeding animals and stuff. I feel like that's really awesome. But
we're big users and consumers of AI in our Holt Hereford operation, and so certainly we've benefited from that, and it warms my heart to know that folks are going to be coming into that industry. So that's great.
Yeah, thank you. And I wanted to touch something because one of the bills that I was really interested in was the mental health support for agriculture families. I feel like this has really took a toll on my family as well, because we lost my pa's farm when he passed away. It got sold out from under us, and I've lost a family member because of mental health, and so I really wanted to do that bill because it really meant a lot to me. So what is something that we could do for these farmers and people in agriculture to help them out?
Well, I don't know if you were there earlier today when I showed some of my challenge coins, but I keep 6 challenge coins with me all the time. I'm trying to dig them out of my pocket here. Probably looks funny on there, but actually that particular challenge coin right there is from Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so it's shaped like a slow moving vehicle sign there. But it's their Raising Hope campaign. And so as much as I think we would like to say, hey, folks in agriculture are resilient and mental health, doesn't have an impact on these people, and it's not something we should waste time on. It's just unfortunate that it does have an impact on those of us who are participants, and we should pay attention to it, and we should pay attention to it from a policy and legislative type pursuit. But I think the very best way to deal with it is on an individual to individual basis, is that we need to make sure that those of us who have hope, not only for this life but for eternity, need to be making sure that we're doing our part to make sure that others, no matter what their circumstance here on earth is that they recognize that there's a greater hope than just what's present right now. And folks need sometimes an outlet to talk about that and to express their feelings. And it's hard to express your feelings when there's nobody there to listen. So I think it's important for all of us to be mindful and be on the lookout.
And I feel like something with farmers and people in agriculture is we get told that, tough, you don't need to be.
And they are.
Things. Yeah, they are tough, but sometimes things can just get too much.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that we discussed was getting a group together, having some old grandmas make some food and just getting everybody together at an extension office, and I thought that was really good. And so it really touched my heart that we had that kind of bill. And it was awesome.
Well, there's, people, different folks are going to advocate for different things. And a lot of times we're advocates for things because we've been impacted by those things. And for some folks, it's, mental health. And if we look around, all of us know someone who's been impacted by mental health. And so, I think whether it's for you individually or whether for others who may be watching this or listening to it, if you feel your heartstrings being pulled in that direction and feeling a burden, then I certainly believe that, all of us need to respond probably in different ways, but each of us have an opportunity to engage with a person that maybe others don't have. And we need to be mindful of that and, just treat people, with the golden rule, treat others the way that you would want to have them treat you. And, if you were hurting and you were, kind of, in a position of need, all of us would want others to come alongside of us and help us, and we should be willing to do that for others as well. Whether that's a physical need or whether that's a mental or emotional need, we need to be there to support one another.
Yeah, and we did some statistics on it, and I think it was saying that farmers' suicide rates are at 3.2%, more than everybody else. And people were saying, well, why are we just targeting farmers about this? But I feel like it just gets shut down. And, with somebody else, it would just be like, oh, I'll help you. But with farmers, it's like, I don't really, you can handle this yourself, so.
Well, we see these, in different industries and in different demographics, there are times when folks are more in need of these types of services, and maybe they are in other times in their life. And really what we can equate this particular acute need to is the fact that the times economically in agriculture are about as tough as they've ever been. And so I think all of us need to be a little bit more mindful and just recognizing that folks who we would have never contemplated or thought, that they're potentially thinking about self-harm or, just really in a situation of despair. But we need to do our part. We need to be mindful.
Alrighty, so thank you so much. To wrap things up, what would you tell a 4-H'er or a students, whatever it is, but what would you tell them?
So I've kind of given this advice to a lot of people throughout life, and it's because I genuinely believe it. But, if I was to give you or anybody else watching this advice that's kind of in a similar position as what you're in, is number one, commit yourself to the Lord. That is a foolproof way of finding satisfaction and fulfillment in a way that no other earthly thing can provide for you. And then find somebody that loves you and that you love them. Have more kids than you think you can afford and raise those kids on a farm. That is my foolproof plan. I've never seen anybody who actually fulfilled all of those not have a fulfilled and successful life. And we just need to make sure that we never are comparing ourselves to others in a way that it causes us to have our joy stolen. Don't compare yourself to others, and also challenge yourself to do things that maybe when you tell people what your goals are, it makes them say, like, are you crazy? Challenge yourself to do big things, but start with little things. Convince yourself that you are a winner and that you can accomplish goals, and let those build on one another to the point that you're knocking down things that people said there's no way you'll ever accomplish. You can. You just got to work for it.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Thank you so much. And that was Clover Connect on the go. We had Mr. Andy Holt. So I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. So
sounds good.
Look out for it.
That'll work.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys.